Hello, grade 4 learners! Today, we will continue exploring the fascinating habitats of plants and animals, Quarter 2, Week 5. At the end of the lesson, you will be able to explain the importance of studying animals and plants' specific habitats, explore more on terrestrial habitats, specifically gardens and rice fields, describing their unique characteristics and ecological significance, and explore more on aquatic habitats, specifically the seashore and mangrove swamp, describing their unique characteristics and ecological significance. Now, let us have a short review through this activity called Habitat Charades. You're going to identify the habitat of the following animals. Number 1, penguin. Number 2, frog. Number 3, bat. Number 4, salamander. Number 5, duck. Now, let us check if your answer is correct. For number 1, penguin, okay, it lives in an aquatic habitat. Number 2, aquatic habitat. Number 3, aerial habitat. Number 4, aquatic habitat. And number 5, aquatic habitat. Okay, so today you're going to explore in more details the two examples of terrestrial habitats, gardens and rice fields, and two aquatic habitats, seashores and mangrove swamps, and why these habitats are important for both people and other organisms and in maintaining balance in nature. Now, let us explore a special type of terrestrial habitat called a garden. Garden is a cultivated areas where plants, flowers, vegetables, and herbs are grown for aesthetic, recreational, or culinary purposes. Meaning, gardens are places where people grow plants, flowers, vegetables, and herbs for many different reasons. Sometimes to make our surroundings beautiful, sometimes for food, and sometimes just to enjoy nature. Now, gardens can vary widely in size, design, and type, ranging from small home gardens to large botanical gardens. Now, let's start thinking about what we already know. How many of you have seen or visited a garden? What did you see there? Why do you think people create gardens? And what types of plants do you think are grown in gardens? How do gardens help animals like bees or butterflies? Now, remember that gardens can have so many different things like colorful flowers, leafy vegetables, and even buzzing insects. And people create gardens because gardens give us beauty, fresh air, and sometimes tasty fruits and vegetables. And there you can plant different types of plants to grow in a garden. And lastly, gardens aren't just important for us, they help many animals too. Now, let's learn another important terrestrial habitat, the rice fields. Rice fields is an agricultural field specifically designed for the cultivation of rice. These fields are often flooded with water to create a suitable growing environment for rice plants. Rice paddies can be found in many regions of the world, particularly in Asia. Let's imagine what rice fields look like. Have any of you seen a rice field before? What did it look like? Then why do you think people choose to grow rice in fields with so much water? Can you think of any animals that might live in or around rice fields? Okay, remember that rice fields are often flooded with water and look like big flat green areas with rows and rows of rice plants. And rice needs lots of water to grow well. Rice plants grow best in wet soil, which is why rice fields are often full of water. Now, rice fields aren't just important for growing food. They also create homes for animals like frogs, birds, and insects. Rice fields are amazing places where people and nature work together to grow food and provide habitats for different animals. Now we're going to learn about a beautiful and fascinating terrestrial habitat, the seashores. Seashores, the land area along the edge of an ocean or sea characterized by beaches, coastal vegetation, and often influenced by tidal movements. Seashores are important ecosystems that support a variety of marine and terrestrial life. Let's start by imagining what a day at the seashore is like. Who here has been to the beach before? What kinds of things did you see along the seashore? Why do you think the seashore is a special place for plants and animals? Now, what kind of animals do you think might live at the seashore? And how do you think the waves and tides affect the seashore? Remember, class, that sand, shells, birds, and plants can be seen at the seashore. And the seashore is important because it provides food, protection, and space for many different plants and animals. You can find all sorts of animals at the seashore, some that live in the water and others that stay on the land. Lastly, the tides bring in fresh water, food, and even new animals, keeping the seashore habitat lively and full of change. Seashores are amazing places where land meets the sea, creating a perfect environment for so many plants and animals. Today, we're diving into a unique and fascinating aquatic habitat, the mangrove swamps. Mangrove swamps. These are coastal wetlands found in tropical and subtropical regions, characterized by the presence of salt-tolerant mangrove trees. These ecosystems are crucial for coastal protection, biodiversity, and serving as nurseries for various marine species. Can anyone tell me why you think these ecosystems are important? What kinds of animals do you think might live in mangrove swamps? And why do you think mangrove trees are able to live in salty water? Now, mangrove swamps act like natural barriers protecting coastal areas from strong waves and flooding. They also serve as nurseries for various marine species such as fish and crustaceans, helping them to grow and thrive. Many animals also depend on mangrove swamps for food and shelter. And mangrove trees have special adaptations that allow them to filter out salt and thrive in muddy, wet soil. Okay, so that is why mangrove swamps are vital ecosystems that play a key role in our environment. Let's talk about something very important in the world of plants and animals, habitats. What is a habitat? A habitat is a place where plants and animals live. It is like their home. Each habitat provides everything that the plants and animals need to survive, such as food, water, and shelter. Let's explore one type of habitat, forests. These are places with lots of trees and plants. Forests are home to animals like deer, bears, and many birds. They provide food and shelter for these creatures. Another type of habitat, grasslands. These areas have tall grasses and few trees. Animals like lions, zebras, and prairie dogs live here. They need the grass for food and open spaces to run. Next, deserts. Deserts are very dry and can be hot or cold. Animals like camels, lizards, and some birds live in deserts. They have special ways to find water and stay cool. Now let's dive into the freshwater habitat. This includes rivers, lakes, and ponds. Fish, frogs, and turtles make their homes here. These habitats are important for many living things. Now let's explore the vast and fascinating habitat of oceans. Oceans are large bodies of salt water. They are home to whales, dolphins, and colorful fish. Coral reefs found in warm ocean waters are like underwater cities filled with life. Lastly, urban areas. These are places where people live, like cities and towns. Even in these busy areas, animals like squirrels, pigeons, and raccoons find ways to survive. Now, why is habitat important? Number one, habitat is important because it is a home for wildlife. Habitats provide a safe place for animals and plants to live. Each habitat supports different kinds of life. Habitats provide food and resources. Habitats supply food, water, and materials. For example, forests gives us fruits and nuts, while oceans provide fish. Habitats provide clean air and water. Plants and habitats help clean the air and water. They absorb pollution and gives us fresh air to breathe. Habitat provides biodiversity. This is a big word that means all the different kinds of living things. Habitats help keep our planet full of variety, which is important for a healthy environment. Fun and learning. Habitats are great places for activities like hiking, camping, and bird watching. They teach us about nature and help us appreciate the beauty of our world. Now read and understand each questions carefully and choose the letter of the correct answer. Write your answer on your notebook. That's the end of our week 5 day 1 lesson. Thank you and have a wonderful day.